someone needed to address this part of the project management world, but the industry actually approached us and said, we need an organization that takes on the special challenges that are quite different from projects that are handled for internal organizations. So when you look at this graphic, you can see that the expectation from people active in the professional project management world clearly shows that there is a significant shift towards buy decisions. Having said that, there's a totally different organization behind cross-corporate endeavors than with internal projects. This is displayed here, where in an organization working in itself and for itself for projects that are only important for the organization, you draw your resources from the different departments of this own organization and basically bundle them and bring them together in a team that, again, only consists of people from the organization. Whereas now, when you look at cross-corporate endeavors, basically you have different organizations having to work with each other. You have much more friction than you already have when you talk about internal projects, because there are different interests at play. And it is not as in internal projects where the ultimate customer is your own organization. Now you are interested in your own organization's interest first, but you have to come to terms with what the partnering organization has in terms of their own interests. That makes contracts even more important. And project managers working in a cross-corporate environment, for instance, have to be so much more in tune with the terms of contracts that govern the interaction between said corporations.
Challenges are changing for project managers. You can say there are two sides. There's the contractor side and there's the customer side. What we see here is the contractor side. And for those at least who believe in the concept of an internal customer, I personally am not happy with this concept. But if you believe in this concept of an internal customer, number one is the same if you do project business or do internal projects. You want to make someone happy. And actually, you have to make someone happy because it's part of the business. But we have two more things. You have to do the project in a profitable way. You have to bring money home. If you work for a contractor or are the contractor, if you are a freelancer, a one-person company, then you are the contractor. In both cases, you have to bring money home with the project, either for your employer or for yourself and your family, possibly. So profitability is a topic. You may have noticed that the topic of profitability turns up nowhere in traditional project management literature. I'm not just talking only about the PMBOK guide and similar documents from IPMA and so on. It doesn't turn up almost anywhere. That's a very strange thing. So people in project management, educated people in project management, are not prepared to look at profitability of a project. Another important thing from the contractor perspective is liquidity. Liquidity today, in the time of corona crisis and coronavirus, has become a major topic, but it was a topic already for years. We see contractors going bankrupt by numbers because they become illiquid. It's not so much the problem with profitability. They may be to some degree profitable, but they are no more liquid. They cannot pay their bills and their invoices and their employees and subcontractors and so on. Liquidity is a problem because cash flow is a problem, because very often as a contractor, you are expected to lay out money for your customer. And the question is, A, when will you get it back? And B, maybe will you get it back at all? And we have a wave of illiquidities at the moment. We also have to look at the other side, the customer side. PMBOK guide and others literature talks about procurement here and there. The problem with that is it's no more just procurement here and there. It's procurement with supply networks. It's not just one supplier. There may be 50, there may be hundreds of suppliers out there. They build a complex network. And we have expectations as customers on them. We want their performance to be reliable. A big problem actually in the Corona crisis, many vendors are no more able to do their job. Then we want to have VIP grade service. We don't want to be as customers at the end of the waiting line when certain work needs to be done, certain decisions need to be done by the contractor, and others take precedence before us. And we want the agility in the supply network when it comes to questions like change requests or changing environments and so on. That's what we need. And again, project managers are not prepared for these challenges.
What got the foundation started, and that is basically a small group of PMI members and volunteers who have been working and focusing particularly on an area of the project management profession that is projects under contracts or project business. This is part of the overall project management world. However, it is quite different in many aspects of everyday projects that are being managed internally for companies, corporations, generally all organizations. And in surpassing this market share, by now project business makes up more than 50% of all projects that are being managed. And that means in a cross-corporate environment, different entities are working together to manage a project and bring it to fruition, whereas in internal projects, it is within an organization that we find the project managers, everyone who's part of the team. So the client to the project is, in fact, the own organization. Of course, when you look at this, cross-corporate projects then therefore have a completely different set of requirements and need different attitude, different approaches, and different techniques to address these requirements.